Brent, money, life, 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 Brent, money, life. Tell them we want more money, life. Tell them we want more Brent money. Tell them we want more money, life. Tell them we want more Brent money.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Eric Patrick, the Hip Hop Stock Doc here at Black Market Exchange. Make sure you check us out at our website, www.thebmex.com. That's www.thebmex.com. You can also sign up for our email list there, and once you sign up, you can receive our daily emails. Also check us out on Instagram at black_market_exchange and Twitter at bmex_. I'm here with...
I am at Carter Park. I wanted to come in loud and clear because I was a little early on the drop, but that's all right. Welcome. Hey, I just want to say thank you to all the people who checked out our podcast for the first episode. That was great, man. We got a great response on that episode, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty good response. We heard some good reviews, and we hope to just keep that trend going. We hope to keep people listening and to get them to think outside of the box so they can have that billionaire mindset with a McDonald's budget.
So make sure you check us out on YouTube, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, even thumbs down. We don't care. Check us out on SoundCloud, and maybe one day you guys will get to follow me on social media.
Wait a minute. So why aren't you on social media anyway? You need to go ahead and address that.
Yo, because I had to drop off the grid, man. Carter Park had to drop off the grid.
You got warrants, man?
No, I don't got warrants, but Carter Park had to drop off the grid, man. If I want my household to be see, I'm going too much into it. But I'm gonna get back out there one day. But right now, I'm in the slow lane, real close to the curb, in a Cadillac, going like 3 miles an hour, while the rest of the world is on the freeway doing their thing.
Well, sorry viewers, but you're going to have to deal with looking at me for the time being, but listening to both of us on the podcast.
Yeah, so check out the Hip Hop Stock Doc. Great videos, great info, all the things that you need. Just know I'm behind the scenes, and we're both trying to improve the lives of people that we feel and deem it necessary to improve. So, that means everybody. That's the whole world. So, what you got, man? You did a analysis, right? So, yeah, let's go over this analysis and see what we came up with.
Yeah, so we sent out a message about a case study we wanted to do called the Mickey D effect, which actually stems from our last podcast where we talked about how people go through their everyday lives and they're kind of on the go. They might grab a Red Bull, which was $1.99, or OJ.
I still can't believe that one, though.
Yeah, man. So we was like, why don't we go ahead and just, ask the people, like, what are you doing with your everyday lives? And let's look at those numbers over the course of a work week. So we got some good responses, and we basically split it up into 4 different groups, whether if it was under $50, from $50 to $100, $100 to $150, and over $150.
Okay, so this was on a week.
Yeah, from Monday through Friday.
So wait a minute.
We basically asked everybody to track their spending. They can look at their bank statement or just look at the receipts, because most people use debit and credit cards anyway. If you use cash, hopefully they could remember that information, but most of the time people are swiping.
So what were we tracking though? So so I understand the concept of the experiment, right? But there were people out there that were spending like $150.
Yeah, we wanted to track the non-essential spending. So of course you're gonna have things that are necessary. You're gonna have your gas. You got bills for your home or your your apartment, wherever that may be. But then things like just food grabbing on the go, like we mentioned the Red Bull, or if you stopped at McDonald's. Maybe there's different aspects. You get some entertainment aspects. Maybe you might have to make it a Netflix night. But you're not. You're going out. You're getting popcorn and Sour Patch Kids. You're getting all these things.
Okay. So this is stuff like, say I go to lunch, and then I'm running late after work, so I stop by and get dinner, and then maybe on Friday I want to take my wife, my girlfriend, whoever out to the movies or something. So this was all this compiled into like a list of non-essentials that people were actually spending during the week, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the synopsis? What did we come up with?
So basically, from those 4 categories we mentioned earlier, we noticed that the largest number of spending fell in that $100 to $150 range, which is I guess
that's
you could
a
say
lot.
It was kind of expected. I was actually wondering if it was gonna be more, but I definitely didn't expect it to be in those lower ranges under $100.
Under $100. You know what? I was expecting it to be like under the $50 because my spending habits. Well, okay, X-nay that because I track my spending habits and I've been doing that for a while. So if you're thinking in that mind, that state of mind, then your spending habits are going to be a little bit different. So I'm tracking everything that I'm doing during the week. So I was thinking the threshold would be less than like $50, but the threshold was more or less $100 to $150 for non-essentials.
Yeah, and if you were expecting it to be, let's say, $50 or less, the data actually showed that a third of the spending went towards food on the go alone.
Whoa!
So from that 100 to 150 range, that was $30 to $50 on the food portion. That wasn't any other outside entertainment. That was just on the food.
On the food. So how did it break down?
So basically, we looked at those numbers and we said, how can people create cash? Because that's the whole objective of the study, is to create cash. One of the biggest gripes is that people don't have any money to invest now anyway. I don't have any money to do it. So let's create it. Let's figure out how we can get you some money. And we call it creating cash, but really we're just channeling that cash into another realm. And so if you look at that 100 to 150 range, we decided let's go ahead and really be generous about it. Let's divide it over a 7-day period instead of the 5-day work week.
Okay.
So now we're looking at $14 to $20 a day in non-essential items. And that could just be, 2 meals at McDonald's and a Starbucks coffee. It's something that you really wouldn't think about on a daily basis.
So when you look at that, right? So you got like $20 going out to let's say $20 a day is going out to like just your lunch, maybe a quick breakfast and a drink or something, right? We did this analysis so we can kind of get you guys to look at that and say that $20 that is not helping me, how can I invest that? How can that $20 help me? How can we move forward and say, okay, you know what? I'm spending $20 a day, essentially, give or take a little bit here and there, right? I'm spending this $20 a day. So how can I take that money that I'm spending and I'm spending it every day? So that's an investment you can make every day. This analysis is so important and it's essential to track your spending, not only for investment purposes, but for budget purposes.
Yes, sir.
Because if essentially you have to be on a budget. There's no Fortune 500 company. There's not even a church that doesn't have a budget.
And just to chime in real quick, it's funny you said that because a Financial Friday term we're going to use is actually fiscal year, which applies to a budget.
Okay.
So as you said, everything's on a budget.
Everything is on a budget, man. Everything is on a budget. If your life isn't on a budget, you maybe ought to rethink that. And just because when you look at your non-essentials and your essentials and the things that you could be doing with that money, like savings. So maybe you're contributing, let's say 7% to your 401k at work, right? And you look at this $20 a day, the range was like $150, right? So that $150, you could bump that 7% up maybe to 9%, contributing into your 401k. You're investing for your future. You are doing something that is constructive instead of destructive. So, okay, go ahead.
Just for those that may not realize really what a 401k is, a 401k is simply a retirement investment account that's usually set up by your employer. And basically, well, maybe if you look at your spending habits and factor in your budget, maybe you can actually bump that up to 5% to save for the future.
Yeah, because if you have a job, like you're working in corporate America, even if you're not working in corporate America, you might have a pension plan, you might have a 401k, whatever it is, right? what we're saying is take those non-essentials that you're spending, right? Maybe bump up your contribution to your 401k so you won't have to be that person that Eric was just talking about, and say, hey, you know what? I got to do 35% because I got to catch up on my 401k at a later date, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's this case study is great and it's essential, and I think that if you're listening, it's worth your while to go ahead and just, you know, try to do that. Try to account for your spending. See where you can invest. Look at the stock market. Even a novice can look at a ticker and say, okay, I see that this number is green and this number is red, right? Even if you don't understand it fully yet. And that's what Eric is doing with the videos. We're trying to move you from novice to intermediate to expert. But we know everybody is not going to be on those levels. So right now, if you're novice, that's fine. If you're intermediate, that's fine. If you're expert, that's fine. Whatever your level is, we just want to get you engaged.
Yeah, we want you to get engaged, and actually you can engage on our website. We actually have a video. We have 2 videos on retirement accounts that we've posted recently. So you can go ahead and check those out and get a little bit more information about them, including the 401k. And also, before we dabble into the actual data, we just want you guys to realize, like, if we really assess how we're spending our money, we can really do some great things out here. Go ahead and jump right into the data. I'm looking at if we can take the money that we were spending on the non-essentials and let's just cut back $5 to $10 of that per day.
Okay, 5 to 10.
So we were at 14 to 20 bucks a day. Let's cut back 5 to 10 of it. If we do that, that's going to result in $35 to $70 per week. Including the weekends, that's $35 to $70 per week that we now have, that we created, and we can use that for investing.
Yeah, because there's things on the stock market, and a lot of people say, well, I don't know where to start, I don't know where to get in. Use your everyday life, right? Use your everyday life. Products that you see in your household, products that you see that you're driving by, billboards, products that you use at work. Look on the stock market and say, okay, I say you do this, right? Look at a product that you use every day. Let's say it's Lysol or whatever cleaning brand. Find out the parent company of that cleaning brand. It's probably on the back of the label. And it may be Georgia Pacific or whoever, right? Look for that ticker symbol on the stock market. And all you have to do is, when you see that parent company, you type that in Google, say parent company stock quote, and it'll bring it up. It'll take you to Yahoo Finance or something else, right? Say it's trading. Now this is just, we're just being facetious right now. This is hypothetical, but say it's trading at $50, right? So what you're gonna do is say, okay, how long is it gonna take me by tapping into those non-essentials the money that I spend every week to get this $50 so I can invest in this? And that's where you start. That's why the analysis is so important, man.
Yeah, and actually, if you look at it in the long term, which how we mentioned about long-term investments and short-term, if we're doing a short-term investment in ourselves of $35 to $70 a week, we're ended up looking at about $140 to $280 per month, or $420 to $840 every 3 months. Now, if we take about every 3 months, you mentioned about a budget earlier, that's going to be called a quarter. And most businesses work in quarters, and they post their earnings after every quarter. So you can treat your savings for investing as a business to invest in yourself and be like, okay, what's my earnings for the last quarter? Okay, I got $400 in earnings. I can invest this $400 now in 3 months' time. Now, some of you might think like, well, I'm trying to get in the game right now. I want to get in. But you've been going this long without doing it. So what's another 3 months to have some more money to invest?
Yeah. It's investing is preference. You know, and a lot of people say, well, I need a lot of money, and then a lot of people, they want to rush in. But know your preference. And when I say know your preference, know what you're capable of doing, know your knowledge level, and know what you're trying to do. Those are essential things that you need to know when you start investing, man. You know what, man? I'm ready. I'm so ready to get into this verse of the week. It's by my favorite artist. I'm sorry, yeah, I had to cut you off. But I know we're gonna go into that analysis, and we're gonna keep talking about that a little bit. But dude, this verse of the week, one of my favorite songs, favorite artist, Nas.
Okay, yeah.
Nas.
we had to go old school with it too. We hit that NY State of Mind.
NY State of Mind, man. You know what? Nas is my favorite MC of all time.
All time?
All time. I think he is. Here you go. Is the discussion. I think he's the greatest MC of all time, behind 3 Stacks. Behind 3 Stacks. And really, I'm not even putting him in number
Are you
2.
basing it off of lyrics, or is it off of impact? Like, what is the basis?
Impact and lyrics. Dude, not Illmatic. It is written. I am Godson. Come on, man.
You know,
they shooting.
I've always heard people, you know, when they compare Nas and Jay-Z, and I'm not saying I was a big Jay-Z fan, but it was always, everybody would say Jay-Z is gonna be better. But what really did it for me was when that Rewind track came out on that Godson, bro. Like, I was like, yeah, he took the cake on that boy.
He took the cake. One mic, Street Dreams. He could do. Nas to me is like Pac, right? So when people compare Pac and Big, right? Big will win sometimes. And matter of fact, I listened to more Big than I did Pac. But as far as an MC, Pac was so universal. Mm-hmm. He could give you the Dear Mama. He could give you the So Many Tears. He could give you all this. He could give you How Do You Want It, the strip club song. He could give you All Eyes on Me. He could give you Only God Can Judge Me. He could give you California Love. He could give you all these genres of rap and ball it up and make it sound good. Big, he gave you lyrics. And I'm not taking anything away from Big, because Big is one of my favorite MCs of all time. But when it comes to how this relates to the Nas and Jay-Z thing, is that Jay-Z is one of the greatest lyricists of all time to me. Mm-hmm. But Nas is such a universal and well-rounded artist that it you can't compare. One mic. All I need is one mic.
Now, I know they're probably wondering, like, these cats over here just ranting about nothing that what I want to hear right now.
Yo, my bad, we got sidetracked.
But
we're gonna bring it back.
It's not really sidetracked, because if you think about it, and I mentioned it before, we're talking about impact and we're talking about hip-hop lyrics.
That's right.
And that's exactly what Verse of the Week is for. It's about impact and it's about hip-hop lyrics. So if we dissect Nas's verse on making sure the cast came correct in our step, investments in stocks, like, we got to consider, okay, so this dude talking about investing too. And this is back on early Nas.
Yeah, this is, that's 1996. I was a kid. That was 1996. So I'm listening to Nas and I'm hearing him say that, and that's influencing me. That's sparking something in my brain right then. Even early Nas, that's sparking something in my brain, investing in stocks. So, like, he does a synopsis of the verse of the week, right? When we give that and we put that out to you guys, we're not trying, we're bringing a hip-hop element to investing, right? Mm-hmm. Because hip-hop is basically an investment in yourself. Yeah. The artist they invest in equipment, they invest in time, they invest in all these things. And when they're investing in these things, what they're doing is saying, okay, I'm going to invest in myself, right, for my future. Because I want to be, they may want to be rich, they may want to help out the people from the hood, mm-hmm. They may want to get their mama a house, they may want to do all these things, but they're going to invest in themselves first. But when you listen to that line, and he mentions the stocks in there, right? So we're like, wow, that's a cold line. But really, that should be food for thought.
Yeah, because we tied it in with the case study because he first says making sure the cash came correct. Well, the Mickey D effect was all about getting your cash correct.
How dope was that?
That was so dope. And see, people might think like this was actually divine intervention because
it was divine intervention
because this verse of the week lined up with the case study at the right time. Yeah. So he's talking about making sure your cash came correct, then I step. So we making sure to get your cash correct. So now if you dissect that non-essential spending and find out what you can invest, then it led up to the next line, investments in stocks. So now he's saying when your money is right, you can go ahead and invest.
See, that's why he's the best, dog. That's why he's the best, because he took that bar, right? And he says, yo, I'm bringing in this cash so I can invest, right? So I'm bringing in this cash to put this cash in stuff that I believe that will make me more cash. Essentially, that's what the stock market is. People have cash. They say, I believe in this company. I believe in this startup. I believe in whatever it is they see and whatever it is that they believe in. They may believe in the CEO. Mm-hmm. They may believe in the product. And they say, you know what? What I'm going to do is invest in this, and I'm going to hold out in hopes that this makes me more cash.
Yeah.
That's basically what Nas is saying. That's what he's saying on that verse,
you know,
man.
I want to put something out there. I think that this will be good for the listeners. We want to get everyone to participate in this. We did a case study, so let's go ahead and do another little project. We want everyone to pick 3 rap verses that include investment concepts.
Do it, people.
So if they say stocks, if they say bonds, mutual funds, whatever the case may be, something that has to do with an investment concept with the stock market. They could even say the New York Stock Exchange, whatever it is. We want you to pick 3, and we want you to email it to us. Whoever can come up with 3 the fastest, we'll give you 2 free months to our subscription for BMX TV and the newsletter on top of the free month that you already get.
Okay, so people, you gotta go to work, man.
You got to the end of the week.
Oh yeah, he put a short time span on
you. Hey, we got it. Hey, if they want it, they gonna come with it. It's just 3.
So
it's just we already did 2 verses of the week. So we about to do the 3rd one.
Okay,
right?
So that means any verse that you hear securities related.
And they can't use the ones that we just used.
Yeah, you can't use the ones that we just used. And let me clarify, securities are investment instruments. Mm-hmm. So stocks, bonds, mutual bonds, New York Stock Exchange, the Dow went up, anything like that. So anything like that, you get the first one to get us those, we're going to hook you up, man. So,
and securities is actually, if you think about it, the stock market is meant to be a secure investment. Therefore, securities make sense to call it that.
That's right.
Because it's not just your regular gambling or, where you go into the casino.
Yeah.
This is meant to be that's why you have a retirement account. It's a secure investment because you invest in security.
It's funny that you're saying gambling, right? Because when you go in there and gamble, right, that is not an investment. And matter of fact, somebody is investing in that casino to take your dough.
Oh yeah, man. You got I think the win is on the stock market. Man, let me look at how much the win up is right now. Because that thing, man, they're always talking about Macau, which is like the gaming systems. Caesars is on there. Is on the stock exchange. Man, you get all these companies on there.
Wynn is killing them. Wynn Resorts is at 139 and rising. It went up today.
139. We got Caesars Entertainment. They had almost $11 compared to the Wynn. What's going on with Caesars, man?
I don't know, but Wynn is winning. He is winning. Wynn. So when you see that Wynn, WYNN, and you go into that casino and you say, well, I'm going to make an investment. I'm going to flip this, right? It's people that are counting on you to go in there so they can invest in Wynn. It's trading at $139 a share. That is great.
130. That's the same share price as Apple.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me check out. What
Apple's at like 129 right now.
Yeah. What is so Apple is trading at like 129. So when you look,
here. We got 126.41. It actually closed down $2 today.
Oh, down $2. But we were talking about this like last year, you have to stay up on your investment knowledge and stay up on the things that's going on around you, right? Because everybody loves iPhones, and we're all hyped about the iPhone 6, right? We're all hyped about Apple. We got Apple products in our home, right? But did we know that Apple's stock split?
Ooh.
And it went down to like 90 something?
Now, why would a company do first of all, what is a stock split, and why would a company even do that?
A stock split is something that you need to listen out for. Explain it to them, man. I won't give it to them in layman's terms, but explain to them what happens when the stock splits. Okay, basically, what happens? Okay, Apple what was it trading at?
It was almost at 7. It was like 650 maybe.
So it's like at 600, right? So basically, when the stock splits, right? This is layman terms, and I'm gonna have the stock doc go in even deeper, right? So it's gonna split out. So if you had one share, let's say it does a 6-way split, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have one share, right, you end up with 6 shares, right? But the price drops, right, to a divisor of 6, right? Almost. So let's just look at it like that. So it was trading at like 600. Once it split, the shares went to like 90 a share, right? So that was last year. So imagine if you put 1 year of investment time into Apple, you would have made, what was it, 126?
Yeah.
126. You would have made profit already.
Yep.
Even if you couldn't afford to buy that $600, almost $700 a share, if you're not in the know and you don't know when this stock split, you're going to miss out anyway. So that's what BMEX Black Market Exchange is trying to do. We're trying to get you guys to get in the know. Because if you don't know the stock splitting, you're like, I can't buy Apple. It's like $700 a share.
Exactly.
But really, it's not. It's split. And when it's split, it has gains already.
Exactly, because if you think about it, we mentioned that it was over $600. So of course everybody's like, well, I can't afford that. Well, when you do a split and let's say it drops to under $100, oh, that's in my price range now because I'm over here saving $70 a week from the McDonald's case study.
That's right.
After 2 weeks, I can go ahead and get me a share of McDonald's stock. Right. I mean, get me a share of Apple stock. And what happens with that split is it drives up what investors like wanting in it. Like that's what happens because now I can afford it. Now I'm gonna buy it more shares.
So basically, they made Apple stock more affordable. It's more affordable at this point.
Man, I hope Chipotle do that, man. They
I hope
stop
Chipotle.
tripping.
You know,
Chipotle trying to be like Google because Google was at like 1,000. Yeah. And then they finally did a split. But they only did a 2-to-1 split, so it went to like 500. I still ain't trying to get that 5, man.
Yeah, Chipotle got it on lock, man. Chipotle has and just to talk about Chipotle for a quick minute, which is one of my favorite restaurants, right? But they keep the reason why Chipotle
first of all, I hate to cut you off. I think their stock is going up because they keep skimming on that meat, bro. On that chicken and the burrito.
I just read something on MSN.
They cutting that overhead down, bro. That's what that is, man.
I just read something on MSN where they say they train their employees to give you less. Matter of fact, they train their employees where to hold the spoon to give you less. Look it up, man. It's on MSN. They train their employees. They give you 3 ounces of cheese. All of the commodities that are the most expensive, they train their employees, hold the scoop right here so you can know how heavy it is, and this is what you're gonna get. But they keep their overhead.
It's like when I forgot what show that was, but Cedric the Entertainer, I think, was the cafeteria.
Oh yeah, you said all we got is mashed potatoes and corn. That's it. That's all we giving you is mashed potatoes and corn. And that's what Chipotle is doing. They giving you straight up mashed potatoes and corn. You can't go in there and make a request. They like, here, this is what we got here. Take it or leave it, because we need our stock to be at a G. Yeah, we need our stock to be at a G, man. But you know what? I was to go back to the verse of the week, right, and to tie this into how like a lot of people miss out on good investment opportunities. I was listening to Hot 97 today. Ebro and Rosenberg. You checked them out?
I think like one time I checked it out.
Yeah, I like Ebro and Rosenberg.
I think they had. I'm not sure if that's the one that had Ryan Leslie on not too long ago. I don't know if that was Ebro and Rosenberg.
I think it was maybe been Ebro, and then the chick. What's the chick's name? Laura Styles. Yeah, Laura Styles. They were interviewing I Am Sue. You know, the kid out of the Bay.
Yeah, man. I dig him, man. I heard something off of his mixtape. I think it's called The Kilt, and I was kind of hooked since then. I mean, it's funny because I'm from Tampa Bay. But I've always been a fan of Bay Area music. Like, I've been on E40, Too Short, all that stuff. So.
Yeah, man. E40 is one of the best rappers and, I'm gonna say it, lyricists of all time, man. E40 can spit. I'm sorry. He can spit.
E40 the only rapper still giving out double and triple discs.
Like, he's still spitting. But I'm checking out the kid I Am Sue, right? So the kid I Am Sue is in there and they're interviewing him, right? And he said a couple of things that it kind of made my ears perk up, right? So he said he was essentially trying to get his mother a house, right? Mm-hmm. So this kid is a writer as well. He has some plaques on the wall. He wrote the song Up.
Really?
Yeah, he got some plaques on the wall. He's working with Tinashe.
From the Bay too.
Yeah,
I don't know his name, but no, the guy. But the song "Up," I think.
Yeah, the guy from the Bay.
That rapped it from the Bay. Though.
Yeah, he's from the Bay too. This guy has some plaques on the wall, right? And that goes to show you how the model of investing in a rapper has changed, because I don't know his situation, but he's probably under the 360 deal, right? Mm-hmm. So they're getting money from every revenue stream that he produces. So if he writes a song, the record company gets money. If he on a song, the record company gets money. If he's what's up with the Facebook hat? You know? And he said, well, I toured the campus. But before he said he toured the campus, Rosenberg was like, yo, you invested in those stocks? And it blew right past I Am Sue. Like, he has it. So they took you to their corporate campus, right? And Facebook. Uh-huh. And it didn't dawn on the individual I Am Sue to be like, if they're taking me here, I might need to invest in this company. Mm-hmm. It didn't. I don't think it dawned on him, because when Rosenberg asked him about it, he was like, "Oh no, I just got this from the gift shop." But he did mention that he toured the campus, so that means he was 9 times out of 10 touring the campus with an executive or something.
Yeah, and mind you, just to point out, Facebook is currently at 81.21. When Facebook had their IPO back in, I think it was 2011, the stock was, I think it opened up at like 40. So it's doubled its price since 2011. It's up 100%. It actually dropped to like $19.
They on Instagram
after the IPO. Right? Who?
Facebook.
I mean, they on Instagram. We talked about that in last.
Yeah, they on Instagram. Right?
So their stock is actually, from when it hit its trough of $19, it's actually up to 80.
Yeah.
So that's what, 300% now. Like.
Yeah, so
it's taking it's kind of a slow and steady getting there, because everybody always wonders how's it going to monetize, but they must be doing something right, because Twitter ain't got there yet. No. Twitter can't seem to figure it out.
No, because see what Facebook is doing at this point, they're doing acquisitions, right? So they acquire IG, right? Mm-hmm. So they know that they have a certain demo for Facebook. Facebook has a certain demo, right? And Facebook says, we have this many users, right? And they send that out to advertisers, right? Mm-hmm. And they send that out to people who specialize in marketing, right? And they market to those people. And they say, well, here's our demo for IG, which is a totally separate demo. So the IG demographic is so much younger than the Facebook demographic. They say they present it as a package. So Facebook says, here, advertisers, people who need to market to people, marketing firms, we have every demo that you would ever want. Here, market to them. We have IG, we got Facebook. That covers the whole spectrum. Mm-hmm. That's everybody, right? So when he had on the hat, right, and Rosenberg throws it out there, are you investing in Facebook? And he kind of like, what? I'm not investing in Facebook. I was like, that's what we're trying to do. That's what the Black Market Exchange is trying to do. So you don't miss those investment opportunities. Because if you let some execs take Carter Park to the Facebook headquarters and give me a tour of the campus. Let me tell you, son, what I'm going to do. I will be heavily invested into Facebook because they're giving you a insider a view of their company.
Exactly. I mean, he could have easily been tipped off about something maybe that they could even been working on. Who
Yeah,
knows?
who knows?
And you know, I'm not trying to say promote insider trading, but you know, you never know. If
Yeah,
you've seen the movie The Interns, where people was interns at Google and stuff, you saw all this stuff they had going on.
Yeah,
like, man,
you know, and it's not insider trading. It's just like, okay, when you invest in a company, you need to research that company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need. What he had was a direct line to actual research, and I was like, yo, dude, I don't know if he's invested in it or not, but what I'm saying is, it seemed like, because he was saying, yo, I'm still trying to buy my mom a house and stuff like that. It seemed like he may have missed out on that investment opportunity.
Man, I am sure if you listen to this, or if anybody knows him, holla at us. We can go ahead and get you on the black market exchange.
We'll hook you up for free, I am Sue. Yeah, Carter Park said it. Hip Hop Stock Doc hasn't agreed with it, but he will be on board. We love your music, dude, but we don't want anybody, whether you're I am Sue or you I am me, we don't want you to miss any investment opportunities, man. Those that's valuable. And it's funny that Rosenberg threw it out there.
Yeah, it is.
Because he comes from a different culture. You know, Rosenberg comes from
And see, sorry to cut you off. That's like the basis of black market exchange. Mind you, our initial premise was targeting people of color because I know we felt as black men that like, man, we don't know about any of this investing stuff. We kind of almost had to take it upon ourselves. So we're like, why don't we share with people that look just like us? Yeah. But at the same time, with your finances, everybody wants to be in the black.
Yeah.
So black market exchange isn't just about black people. Black market exchange is for everybody.
Yeah, and it's more of a people who didn't get an opportunity to learn about investments at an earlier age, or people who missed out on investments altogether. It's more or less like Kanye was saying in his Breakfast Club interview. It's just a class thing. It's a suburban and an urban thing. You know, if you're in an urban environment, you're not worried about investing. You're worried about keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a single parent home, if you're trying to raise 3 kids on your own, you're trying to keep the lights on. That's why it's so important for me and Eric to bring this to you guys and try to bless somebody with knowledge. Blessing somebody with knowledge is a great thing. And I think that the more that we bless people with knowledge and information, we put this information out there, the more valuable we can be in the marketplace, man.
And music is universal, which is why we even use hip hop. I mean, Charlamagne mentioned it on the Breakfast Club. They had an interview with Chance the Rapper, and he was mentioning, Chance the Rapper was mentioning how they had this group called the Social Experiment. It's like their band.
Yeah, I love him, by the way. Shout out to Chance the Rapper. Yo, that acid rap was. Yo, I got sidetracked. My bad. Go ahead.
Anyway, that's another day. So he was talking about how their collective is about artists. You know, you hear about Kanye West talking about respect the artistry.
Yeah.
So this Social Experiment is about just the artistry as a whole. It's not necessarily just music. It's about just a collective of the culture. Mm-hmm. And so one point that Charlamagne mentioned was, hip hop isn't just a black thing anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, music is universal. Yeah. And so if we can take a concept like investing, which technically is universal, but hasn't been portrayed as being universal, we can make it universal with the music. Yeah,
totally. And you know what? That's coming up on a future podcast. We're going to talk about hip hop in global economics and how it affects suburbia, how it affects the urban markets, how it affects it. Hip hop almost touches everything in the global marketplace. We're gonna get into that, man. And you know what? I had mentioned something earlier about the 360 deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 50 Cent, who made very, very wise investments.
Mm-hmm.
He made very wise investments early on in his career, which catapulted him to wealth. Wealth is the word. Riches round the corner from the curb. Don't like what I like. And you can Google that and see what verse that came from. But that's an Andre 3000 verse, if you didn't know. But
man, how you gonna tell me Google it and then you gonna say it?
No, I had to give it to him because everybody was gonna be like, "What's this dude talking about?" But wealth is the word, riches round the corner from the curve. So people say, "Well, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich." We're trying to come into a society and we're trying to give you information to build wealth, to go beyond one generation, to build generational wealth, you know, and that starts with investing, right? Even if it's starting with investing in yourself, like 50 Cent has generational wealth. That deal with Coca-Cola and vitamin water gave him the opportunity not to only provide him wealth, but his kids wealth, his kids wealth, you know?
And he's actually going to instill that same investor mindset to his kids. And so that's the same thing I want to do for my kids. I want
Me as well.
I would like for my children to be in high school. Instead of having to work at McDonald's after school, you know, we can have a little joint account. I can help her invest.
Yeah.
And basically that can be your money to do things with your friends. And you don't have to have a job outside of that. That can be your money. And then when she goes to college, I can still do this when I'm in college. I can pay for my books when I graduate from college. Now I'm at work. I can pay for other things. I can pay my student loans off if I even have them.
And that's great. And if you're in college right now, you can start investing to pay for some of those things. You can get an early jump on your student loan. You can get an early jump on books, tuition, all those things. Investing and just having the right investment knowledge can help you right now. If you're in college right now and you're saying, wow, I got a long way ahead of me to pay off these student loans, but you're spending, you know what, $50 a week, you could be investing that. Invest that your whole time in college. When you get out of college, that investment vehicle will 9 times out of 10 made you a profit. You can use those profits to, you know what? It goes to this student loan. It goes to this. It goes to that. To help you build wealth in your adulthood. And by the way, I'm making my kids work. Now, you're going to work at McDonald's.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you know, when you think about it, like a lot of investors, like, you want to consider yourself as an entrepreneur. So let's say if they're an investor, they can work. If I'm an investor, let me go ahead and make myself like a holding company. Like, I can have my own company. And then now I can own stocks and whatever other securities in that company. One, because now it's not gonna fall on me if like if something were to go wrong, like it's kind of like its own entity. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm also working the system. I got my own business, so I am working.
And that's I totally.
If you don't make any money in the market, you can't go out with your friends. Like that's the whole point.
And that's a good way to start off your kids learning how to invest, right? If you have kids, even if you are a kid yourself, so even if you're trying to get the new J's that are coming out, you know, you say, well, how can I invest? I'm too young. I don't know how to invest yet, right? Well, help your parents. Turn your parents onto it. Say, hey, Ma, I got this extra $50. I want you to try to get me to investing, right? Or say, hey, Ma, you should check out this podcast, Black Market Exchange. They give a lot of gems. And if you're in college, you know, tell your friends and you say, hey, we're getting a lot of information out here. Mm-hmm. And, this is happening. This is happening. We're not giving you this information to say, oh, yeah, let's just blow up Black Market Exchange. Of course, we want to grow our business, but we also want to grow the knowledge of the investors that are listening. That's important, man. That's the reason why we're doing this. Mm-hmm. To grow that knowledge, man. And as I was listening to that 50 Cent video, that interview he was doing with the Breakfast Club, he was saying then came about the 360 deal. So after he did that deal, you know, record companies were like, okay, these artists aren't selling as many records anymore.
Can you break down the 360 deal just real quick? I know it's been thrown out there, but just so people can kind of know what they don't know.
Okay, well, if you're a music artist and a lot of times a producer, if you get signed at this point in time, the record company they're gonna give you a 360 deal because no one is selling records like that. You're not selling music like you're not selling physical copies. The only thing that's selling is digital copies. And I think there was one album that went platinum last year, and that was Taylor Swift. Right? So the record company says, okay, how do we make money? How do we create a revenue stream? So they say, well, the artist is going on tour, they're selling merch, they're getting commercials, they're getting endorsements. You know what? Let's give you a deal, right, where we can catapult you to a certain level of stardom where you can obtain all those revenue streams, right? And for us doing that, we want a percentage. So they get like a percentage of your tour, they get like a percentage of your merch. If you're in a movie, they get a percentage of that, you know, but their logic is, okay, let's catapult you to this level of stardom.
So we provide the connection and we're going to get a finder's fee in essence.
And a lot of people don't like 360 deals, but 360 deals are if I owned a record label, that's the smart thing to do because I'm not going to make any money off the artist by just selling music. I'm not. It's just that business model it's gone. When Steve Jobs made the iPod, that business model left. People don't, we live in a generation where people don't buy music. Music is free to a whole generation.
Well, it's getting into the streaming now. So I think people are actually participating in the streaming where you have Beats now, you got Spotify.
Yes.
I think people are paying because they're like, oh, I can pay, I don't know if it's, $10 a month? I'm not sure.
Yeah, for unlimited, streaming.
Yeah, you get unlimited music and stuff will be up right away. I mean, Big Sean just dropped his album and, that's on Spotify.
Right now, yeah. So that business model of saying, okay, we're just going to depend on your music to recoup is gone out the window. So it's a smart investment on the record industry's part. But for an artist, right, at this point, what do you really need a record label for?
Nowadays they say the internet is your friend. You can pretty much do anything on your own. It seems like
it is. The internet is.
look at Nipsey Hussle. The deal he got with Ryan Leslie. He's that whole Proud to Pay movement. He got cats paying $100, $1,000 for an album.
And shout out to Nipsey Hussle
and giving it away for free at the same time because he says, you know what? For all you new investors out there, here's a little something for free. Go ahead and check out what I'm doing.
That's right.
For all my loyal fans, if you're an investor and loyal like you say, you gonna pay for this art that I'm providing for you.
Yeah, you're gonna invest in me. That's essentially what Nipsey Hussle is doing, man. That kid has a brilliant mind, and he's taking it to the marketplace like it has never been taken to the marketplace before. He's like, yo, if you believe in me, right, stand behind me. If you're just getting into me, you know what? Here you go. It's free. If you want to support me, you can. If you want to just check me out, you can. But be engaged. That's the whole thing. The $1,000, the $100, those are great marketing tools to get people to invest in his career.
Exactly.
Man.
And the way he did it was the people that were paying the $1,000. He's offering, I think, like a free listening session, like a live listening session for his album that's supposed to come out. And as an investor, you can see that as a dividend. So I'm investing in you. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of something back from you because I am investing in you. I believe in your brand, in your company.
Yeah, man. So, when you look at investments, man, you have to look outside of the box. Investments are not just the ticker. It's not just looking at the New York, the Dow. Investments are happening all around you at all times.
We mentioned the taco example. Last joint. Like that's 3 companies in a taco, man.
Yeah, man. Investments are happening all around you at all times. And let us, when I say that, let's segue into one of the greatest investors, Warren Buffett. Right? So Warren Buffett. The Oracle. Yo, shout out word to Warren Buffett. Yo, Warren Buffett, he has is it on CNBC? What is it on?
Yeah, I think they call it an annual like Ask Buffett or something like that.
Okay.
And it was on CNBC where basically people can, email, tweet. Nowadays they prefer you to tweet. But your questions for him, and he'll answer them. I think it was like a 60-minute segment, and you'll answer them. But one of the high points, of course, was LeBron James was asking questions.
LeBron, one of the greatest of all time, and if I didn't come up in the Jordan era, he would be the greatest of all time.
That remains to be seen.
LeBron is LeBron's one of my favorite players. But so what did LeBron ask Warren?
So to me, the main question that he asked, he kind of was joking with another question about, I'm not doing too well in my current profession. What should I do? But the main question was, he asked bluntly, what should I invest in? And we get these questions all the time. What people want to know, like, tell me to invest in Apple.
Yeah.
Tell me to invest in Nike. Tell me to invest in Delta Airlines.
Yeah, we at Black Market Exchange, we're not financial advisors. What we're doing, we are educating the masses in finance. We're educating you in finance. We're making you aware of things that you may not have been aware of. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times we do get the questions, and people say, well, tell me what to invest in. No. Our goal is to educate you on how to invest, to give you the basics of what's going on around you. Mm-hmm. Like we said, man, there's investments popping off every second. When you get in your car, it's like, okay, I'm getting into this car, but you don't think about that. It's an investment. If you got a Nissan, whatever kind of car you got, whatever kind of car, Ford, Ford, they made the trucks lighter, right? And then the company that made like the aluminum?
Alcoa, yeah. They make the aluminum for the trucks to make them more fuel efficient.
And look, look how many investments is just going into the Ford truck right there.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, both of them, Ford's at about like $16. I think Alcoa's at about $14 to $15. Mm-hmm. So, both of those, it's about $30, which is what you save from the case study. That $35, that's on the low ball.
Bringing it back to the case study.
You can get 2 shares of Ford and Alcoa, which are 2 companies together at the same time. Now, I'm gonna give you a little gem here.
Okay.
So
drop a gem on them.
You might wonder, especially if you look at some of their past history. The stocks are low price. They don't move like these technology companies that just kind of just go all over the place. Mm-hmm. But they are working together. Now, initially, the concept is that Ford is going to take a hit because they got to do like a new reproduction of cars. All the costs that they paid up front for how they were producing them, they're going to take a hit. So like, okay, the stock might come down a little bit. But if you think about it, if they're making the cars more fuel efficient, people are going to be more inclined, and this is specifically for the F-150, people are going to be more inclined to buy the F-150, which is already the number one truck there is.
Yeah.
They're going to be more inclined to buy it because, one, it's reliable, it's a tried and true company, and 2, it's lighter, so you're going to have cheaper gas.
Yeah, it's going to make it more fuel efficient. So Ford is basically making an investment in themselves,
exactly.
And it's not a short-term investment.
Exactly.
They're like, we got to make this long-term investment to see our future and make our future that we see and that we're predicting our future will be bright. Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing. So let's tie it all together, right? Let's check this out, right? So the money you save from the case study, right, is the same money that Nas was talking about in the verse of the week that you're saving up to invest in the stocks. Mm-hmm. And it brings us back to, okay, well, what do I invest in? Like the question LeBron referred to Warren Buffett. Well, what do you invest in? Well, before you start asking what do you invest in, you need to know how to invest.
Exactly.
You need to know what's going on with investing. What does investing even look like? You need to educate yourself on investing, and that's what we're trying to get to everybody.
And that's how Warren Buffett actually replied to LeBron. He didn't say go out and buy this, buy that. He said look at companies, if you believe in them or if they're just, not believe, but just familiar with them, or if they're just well-known companies. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take like Procter and Gamble, I think they own Colgate Palmolive, they own like a whole bunch of different brands, you know what I'm saying? So people might not realize Colgate Palmolive, but Irish Springs. You know what I'm saying? So if you think that way and realize, you can be like, okay, how can I invest in some of these things that I see every day. So I don't need someone to tell me what to invest in. I can find that out for myself in everyday things. However, companies such as us at Black Market Exchange, we can help you to find out how well that company will do. Is it going to be a short term, long term? We're going to equip you with the tools to be able to find this information out.
Yeah, because if you look at LeBron, right? LeBron is heavily invested, even in the things that he endorses. LeBron has shares of Nike. It's guaranteed.
See, we actually posted on Instagram some time ago about the LeBron being, like $200 something bucks or something like that.
Yeah.
And so if at the time, if you looked at the shares of McDonald's, Nike, Apple, and I think it was one other company, that all of those put together would equal the price of 2 pairs of LeBrons.
Yeah.
So it's like kids buying these sneakers like it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So can we not teach the younger generation, or even our generation, because I know some of us still buying the kicks. Yeah. If we getting a pair of sneakers every month, man, we can just buy a share in 4 different companies and diversify our portfolio instead of buying that pair of sneakers and maybe just get the pair the next month.
Yeah, we miss one pair and we just get the one the next month. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, right? When you look at it, right?
And indirectly, that's investing in LeBron, who might be your favorite athlete.
Yeah, because LeBron is investing in himself, right? When you see LeBron on the court, right, and he has a custom pair of LeBrons, right, how he performs on the court, right, how he acts off the court, he is essentially investing in himself, right? Because you see LeBron in a McDonald's commercial, right, but like I said, 9 times out of 10, LeBron has an investment in McDonald's. His portfolio contains some McDonald's stock. Mm-hmm. His portfolio contains Nike stock. It just does. I don't know this personally, but LeBron is too smart for it not to be in there. You know?
And see, sometimes with these well-known athletes or celebrities, a lot of them have, because we're talking about creating cash. A lot of them, of course, are going to have people and hire people to do this investing for mm-hmm. them. But to the everyday person like us, that's not a feasible option. Yeah. I mean, I'm not knocking a financial advisor. But everybody can't afford one. Yeah. So what can you do to put it back in your hands?
Yeah. And the financial advisor learned from somewhere. So if you start, it doesn't matter if you start with the Black Market Exchange or just picking up a book, The Guide to Invest in the Standard & Poor's. Mm-hmm. Just picking up a book and saying, hey, I want to learn about the things that I use every day. I want to invest in myself so I can invest for my future. Invest in yourself so you can invest for your future. Because when you look at it, a lot of financial advisors, they look at you and they say, hey, oh, you're a novice. And a lot of people get taken advantage of. It's good. And even if you don't get taken advantage of, it is always good to know something about what you're finna do, what you're about to put money into. Mm-hmm. If you're just saying, even if it's a LeBron tennis shoe, right? And you're about to go buy a LeBron tennis shoe and you're gonna actually use it to play basketball in. You need to know how the grip. You need to know how that shoe feels on your foot. You need to know if it has ankle support. And before you just invest $200 in it. Mm-hmm. You need to know these things, And it's not like LeBron is trying to, or Nike is trying to, take your money. They're counting on you to say, okay, if you're going to be playing a whole basketball season in this shoe, you should, do some research and say, okay, is this the right shoe for me? Or maybe I need a LeBron, or maybe I need a Hyper Dunk, or maybe I need to go with the D Rose 5. You should think about these things. And when you look at stuff that occurs around you every day, you should say, hey, how can I invest in that?
And see, that same research that you would do to find a great performance shoe is the same research that investors do for a company such as Nike. Yeah. And when they invest, Nike takes that money from the investors to make that great performance shoe. Yeah. Like it's a circle that's going back. So it's almost like you're investing in a company that's going to provide a product that you're going to buy. So you're investing in yourself because I invested in this company to produce a quality product. When I go buy that product, I know it's quality because I believe in the company because my money is in that company.
That's right. That is right. That is right. And a word to the wise, right? If you don't have the basic knowledge to say, you know what, I'm invested in this company, but I don't care how it performs, and I don't care what's really going on with the company, right? If you don't have that basic knowledge, the whole fundamentals of investing are kind of going to waste, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's why it's really important to educate yourself. Like when you ask, like the segment Ask Warren Buffett, right? Let me tell you 3 things about Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett got a lot of the money that he has now in penny stocks. Penny stocks back in the day.
Really?
He was trading penny stocks. Another thing about Warren Buffett, I believe he still lives in the same house. He still lives in the same house, and he drives a Cadillac if he even drives anymore. But when I put those 3 things out there, look at those 3 things and look how it affected his future. Warren Buffett is worth like what, $75 billion? Still lives in the same house. Didn't go out there frivolously spending on, oh, I gotta have a Benz, or I got to have the 4-story house and the condo sitting over here, and oh, I got to invest in to make people think that I'm doing it big investing. I gotta invest in Apple. My portfolio has to be vast. Those 3 things, Warren Buffett invested in penny stocks. I believe he still lives in the same house. And if he's still driving, I don't know if he's still driving, but I remember him, if I remember correctly, he was saying he just had a Cadillac. That was it. That is genius. That is genius.
And see, I think you have to consider, like, when it comes to wealth, of course, and we all want you to take this concept. That's why our podcast is called Brent, Money, and Life. We want you to think of the 2 terms Brent and money collectively. Mm-hmm. So this information that we're providing you is a Brent money mindset. You know, anytime you're investing in yourselves, that's a form of Brent money. That's right. You know, if you're helping out your friend, you're investing in them, that's a form of Brent money. And so Warren Buffett has a Brent money mindset because he's wealthy in that it's not necessarily about the flashy stuff. It's about being smart and being smart with my money and comfortable because he has a vast portfolio, but he ain't got no bills.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
He can be a billionaire, and a billionaire can probably still be in debt at some point in time, depending upon what your expenses are.
Yeah. So having that mindset is key, man. And being content, not worrying about what everybody else is doing, being content and educating yourself, man. That's key, man. That is key, man. And I think, man, we're gonna wrap it up on that note, man. What else you gotta say, man? Tell them where to hit us at again, man.
Just make sure to check us out at the website www.thebmex.com. That's www.thebmex.com. Make sure when you go to the website, you just sign up for our email list. We have a great piece every Monday and Thursday called Broadcast in the Black, as well as some other points. Check us out on Instagram at black_market_exchange, as well as on Twitter at bmex_. Just continue to follow us. You know.
Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Leave comments.
Please leave them comments. Man,
whether you like it, love it, hate it, despise it, leave comments.
Man, leave a comment right now. If you on YouTube or SoundCloud, leave a comment right now. Let us know what you think about the podcast. Any information you would like us to discuss in the podcast.
Let me throw this in, right? We had a real estate question, right? And how do you invest in real estate? So you can send us your investment questions about real estate, and we're going to cover that in a future podcast. And on that note, live life, love God. We're out.